All right, everyone. Welcome to match day. It is Manchester United and Norwich City. Lineups have already been announced. And I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed. All right, so Ralph Rangnick is a proponent of the 4-2-2-2. So we're going to be starting off with David De Gea in goal, Diogo Dalot at right back, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Alex Telles, Fred and McTominay, Sancho and Bruno Fernandes, and Marcus Rashford and Cristiano Ronaldo. Against Norwich City, which looks to be like they are going to be starting off in a 5-3-2 with Tim Krul, Aarons, Kabak, Hanley, and Giannoulis and Piachetta. Midfield of Rupp, Billy Gilmore, and McLean. And we've got Pookie and Josh Sargent in the forwards position. So going back to United, I'm a little disappointed to see that Bailly hasn't retained a place, but I expected Harry Maguire to come back in. I have to say that I am also a little bit disappointed in the fact that Donny van de Beek um, is not taking the place of Scott McTominay in that holding position, especially against a team that we should be dominating possession. So I'm going to be expecting a percentage of possession that's going to exceed, from my standards, like the high 50s, 60s. It even could be more. I'm expecting us to go out there and realistically um, impose our will, which is what I think the professor, Ralph Rangnick, is going to be wanting from us. Um, so before we get into it, though, I do want to mention the Anthony Marshall agent comments from yesterday. So his agent has come out, for those of you who don't know, and has said that Marshall is looking for more playing time, and he is looking to be moved in January, which of course will begin the start of what I'm hoping will be a couple of moves for the United squad. But going back to Marshall, so one, I'm disappointed in this for two reasons. One is the timing of it, right? So we know that Ole didn't really think of Marshall as someone who was in his plans, right? It was always Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side, and in Ole's system, there was only one forward currently, right? And we know that it's going to be Ronaldo. We know that it's going to be Ronaldo, or it's going to be Cavani. Occasionally, it's even going to be Greenwood. So it really wasn't going to be a place where Anthony Marshall could succeed. But he always had that opportunity, if he had played well, to really get himself on that on the left hand side. Um, in this system, under Ralph's system. And the reason is because he has in his locker all of the skill set, right? He can hold up the ball, he's good on the dribble, he's got some speed, right? He's got some speed. And we need all of those things, especially the fact that he knows how to work with other players, right? Some players, they only have one or two skill sets. You know, I love Marcus Rashford. I love his speed. I love the fact that he's very direct, right? But what he doesn't do well is he doesn't hold the ball up well. Um, and a lot of the workings that Anthony Marshall can do on that left hand side, I don't feel like Marcus Rashford can do. Can Marcus be successful in this system? Absolutely, he can. I mean, he's got Cristiano Ronaldo, up top with him today, and I expect him to be very successful in this system. But the thing about it that I'm looking for, and that I think Anthony Marshall could have done before this announcement from his agent, is think about where he is in this system, what his experience could bring to this squad, and what a new manager could bring for him, right? So one, he right now apparently he's out with an injury, and I don't know, theoretically there's been some news reports before that have said that he was out under Ollie injured, right? But then we saw that picture that his wife had posted of him on an exercise bike and saying, he's not injured, he's just not been included. So um one is I'm disappointed that he didn't use the fact that we have a new manager coming in with new expectations. And he has a chance now to meet that new manager's expectations of what he expects, right? Um, because all of these players, for me, and I'm sure, for Ralph, he they have a clean slate, right? They have a clean slate. What kind of form? This is a brand. This 4-2-2-2 wasn't played by Jose, wasn't played by Van Hal, wasn't played by Carrick or Giggs in his, in the few games. So this is a brand new manager that's coming in. The slate is clean. This is Marshall's time to show him that he can lock down that left side forward position, right? And what is it going to take? It's going to take Marshall believing that he can not only he can backtrack and he can press the ball too, right? Um, but he can also take, I think, in a secondary role, he can take on a leadership position within a lot of those young forwards, because it can't just be Ronaldo and Cavani, right? Because Marshall, he's been at the club since he was, for a while, since he was 19. So he knows the feelings that Anthony Alanga are feeling. He knows the feelings that Amad Diallo are feeling. He knows what it's like, for a lot of these younger players coming up too. Um, so he would be a great bridge with Cristiano and with Edison Cavani for a lot of these younger players. And he's only, like I said, 26, 27. So I think, number one, that was the point that disappointed. That was the part of his agent coming out now and saying that, is because we have this new manager and this is his time to establish himself for that new manager. The second part is that by coming out now, sure, he's under contract, so we can allow him to leave in January if we want, or we can keep him under. We can say, you know what, Tony, we need you. We're going to keep you, just like Ole did with Donnie. When he wanted to go. Zert, how's it going, man? Um, so when we're talking about, when we're talking about, I'm talking about Anthony Marshall and his agent's comments quickly yesterday. The second part, I think, that I didn't agree with his agent's comments coming out now, is because this puts us in a little bit of an area where Manchester United, the people that are going to that are going to put in a bid for Anthony Marshall, right, in January, know that Anthony now wants to go. So any bid that they give us is going to be undervalue for what he can provide them. It's going to be up to us whether or not we want him to go. Yeah, it's going to be up to us to allow him to go. But I think that his agent coming out now does harm to Manchester United's value of Anthony Marshall. All right. And I do think that it's bad in terms of strictly Anthony Marshall's next 6 weeks here, because I do think that he has time, if he gets healthy, to give Ralph Rangnick another option on that left hand side. And that's up to him. Um, Expectations of this game. Zert, I see you're in the chat. What do you expect in this game today versus Norwich City? So it looks, again, like I've said, it looks like Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof come back in. We are keeping Delo and Alex Telles. as our backs. We've got Fred and McTominay as our holders. So that's not unexpected, right? That's not unexpected to see Fred and McTominay back after they missed the Champion League's game earlier this week. We've got Jaden Sancho and Bruno Fernandes in midfield, and we've got Marcus Rashford and Cristiano Ronaldo. So, if you have any thoughts, any expectations for this game or certain players, feel free to put them down in the chat. Um, so we know that Norwich City, right, in the last 4 games, they have produced, uh, they've drawn 2, lost 1, and won 1. And in 2 of those 4 games since Dean Smith has taken over, they have been shut out. They have been shut out. So what is this? What should this tell us? This should tell us that they're obviously having a problem scoring, and this is going to go right into our wheelhouse, because I feel like this is the game for us to establish ourselves, not only for what we want and how we want to play, but how we want to impose ourselves on our opposition right now. uh, I don't feel like Norwich City is going to be. I would be surprised to see them put 6 shots on our goal this game. So I'm going to be expecting. I said, if any of you here know, I appeared on the pregame for Norwich City on the Flying Pig United station. Shout outs to all of you who watched that. And I predicted a 4-0 game. Now, I've been thinking about it, and I was thinking about all of the predictions that we had, because Gungshi was saying 7-0, right? And if you have a prediction, get it in the chat if you want. Um, we'll be going until another 5 minutes. So I am predicting. I had 4-0. I haven't shied away from that. I do predict Ronaldo with 2 goals. I do predict Jaden Sancho with a goal, and I do predict Marcus Rashford with a goal. Um, Here's what I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for from Delo. I am looking I'm looking for his interchanges on that right hand side with Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to be looking for Delo, looking for his overlaps, and I'm also going to be noticing. Okay, he's going to be having to deal with Pookie on that on Pookie's left hand side. Delo's obviously his right hand side. I want to see his defensive positionings for any type of counterattack that Norwich City is going to provide. And for also on that right hand side, I'm going to be looking at McTominay. What am I going to be looking at? This is the game that we are going to be having a high percentage of possession, which means that he is going to be having the ball and should be having the ball at his feet around that half point, that halfway line, or closer to that to the Norwich box regularly. So what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for McTominay to have his head up. I'm going to be looking for him to make forward passes, right? That's the criticism that we constantly see, right? And we saw it also with the interview earlier this week, where the interviewer brought up the fact that the coach had called out Fred and McTominay for backwards passes and sideways passes, and Scott wasn't too happy with that. He really he wasn't too happy with that. Had a little bit of an attitude. It's okay though. I'm sure if you look on social media, I'm sure that the abuse is coming in, but his performances and his passing have to improve for us to improve, because it's going to be, as Fred and McTominay play, we know, as well as Fred is and as good as Fred is, he has a mistake in him. He has a mistake in him. And it's whether or not we can lower the probability of one of those mistakes, right, and protect him. Right now in this system, right, in this system, he's asked to make shorter passes. He's asked to make those runs, which he can do. He's not asked to hold a large area, right? And he's not asked to provide those Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard, even Jordan Henderson, long passes, which we know that that's not really his game, right? Those short 5-yard passes, that is his game, right? So as long as we keep it simple, as long as Fred keeps it simple, I feel like we are going to be having a much higher probability of maintaining the ball, right? And along with McTominay, he's going to have to show Ralph why he should be staying in this lineup. And I think it's an easier job for Fred than I do for Scott McTominay, because I think right now, if I had the choice, I would be exchanging Scott McTominay for Donny Van de Beek, especially in this game. Because again, it is the type of game that we will have a high percentage of the ball. High percentage of the ball means we retain control. High control means we need to be pushing that ball into that the opponent's half. And who better to do that? Who better to keep it tidy and to look for spaces to open up and to break down a defense, especially in a block like Norwich is playing in that back five. It's going to be they're going to be counterattacking all game long, all game long. We're going to be in that opponent's half for all of the, for all of the game, most of the game, whatever you want to call it. Um, the pressure is on Scott McTominay and it's on Fred, and it's and it's on the captain too, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of the fan base out there right now who wants Eric Bailly to be replacing Harry Maguire. And we know that when Rafa Varane is healthy, that he is going to be coming in and replacing, for the most part, Victor Lindelof. But I'll tell you what, the thing that Victor Lindelof can do that Harry Maguire really doesn't do as well is those long balls into an opposing box, or being able to play that long ball. Victor Lindelof is really good at that. So, Ralph Rangnick has a choice. He's got a choice. Again, my prediction today is a 4-0 for nothing for all you American Manchester United fans out there. A 4-0 Manchester United win at minimum. At minimum. Come on now. If we put 5, if we put 6 past them, I wouldn't be surprised. All right. But we got to get that clean sheet. We got to get that clean sheet. All right. Today, Ronaldo with 2, Marcus Rashford with 1, Jaden Sancho with 1. I'm gonna go with Fernandez with 2 assists, and I'm going to go with Sancho with 1 assist as well. And I hope that we will be seeing in that second half. Before I go, I also want to say, all right, substitutes. We have Phil Jones. We've got Mason Greenwood. We've got Lingard, Tom Heaton, Luke Shaw, Dean Henderson, Donny Van de Beek, and Anthony Alanga. So I'm hoping in that second half that we will be seeing a healthy dose of Donny and Anthony Alanga. Um, and then I think also, we need to be seeing more of Mason Greenwood, because I think his performance at midweek was good, and we need to see more of him. All right. Thank you very much. Leave your comments down, and I hope to see you again. And come on, United.